Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Southern Grace and Sass. It has been a crazy week football wise. I had a whole episode planned on what I was going to do with this, but you know what? I think I'm just going to talk about football today. So I was going to go over the origins of January, stuff like that, but nah, I want to talk about January. If you're new here, hit that like button, ring that bell for notifications. Also, please subscribe. Help a girl out. But oh my gosh, y'all know I love college football, and y'all know I'd be ruffling some little baby boys' feathers out there when I talk about it on social media. Well, at the end of the day, guess what? It's their problem, not mine. That why it's bugging me. But that's how you know the difference between a boy and a man. Little boys will get so upset with people liking football and talking about it, whereas men are just like, this is a very attractive green flag, right? Speaking of green, go Eagles. Um, I mean, hey, go Eagles, go Birds for crying out loud. I am an Eagles fan. I will say that. Um, Primarily due to Cooper DeJean, but that's beside the point. But I don't, you know what? Let me show y'all some TikToks that I found that I think go perfectly just because, right?
Again! Again! Again!
Listen, love that Ohio stays out of the playoffs. Makes my day super happy. But every New Year's Eve, they apparently lose a game on New Year's Eve. Let's keep scheduling them like that, please. Can we? Please, please, please. But here's our next TikTok I think y'all might enjoy.
Second and 6 on the 32-yard line. Number 1, Travis Etienne Jr.
I said it before and I'll say it again. Blue, even though I am not a Colts fan, I am a whole Blue fan. I will say that. He's the best mascot in the NFL. I stand by that statement. You can't convince me otherwise. But let me show you one of my favorite clips that I think y'all are going to enjoy most importantly.
The lead. Arch Manning keeps it himself, and he's got nothing but chattel. Real estate. He popped the clutch. Happy New Year, Longhorns!
Okay, here's the thing. I ain't mad about Vandy losing. I love the Texas game. That one I'm so happy for. I will always be an SEC bias. But I will say this. Vandy, Diego Pavia ruined my support for Vandy. I want to try to give him another shot after next year. Now, when Diego actually leaves, if this lawsuit doesn't actually go his way because he's being a big baby about it. But I'm just saying, I ain't mad about Vandy losing. I love the Texas is winning. Honestly, I love that for them. I'm a huge Arch Manning fan. I will never like when I say I'm a Texas fan. I'm on their hype train. I will give them that. Like I was on the Vandy hype train, but Diego Pavia ruined that so much. But no, here's the thing about Arch Manning. He he's only like a sophomore and junior, so I can't wait to see what happens to him in the next couple of years because that's going to be amazing. Because he's got room for improvement, like they all do. But here are some pre-record. Here are my reactions to each of the playoffs games from the first round. So I'm gonna let y'all see those real quick. All right, I said it before and I'll say it again. You cannot put two teams up against each other in the same season and expect the same outcome every time. But I'll be honest with y'all. I wanted Oklahoma to beat Alabama. I didn't want them to lose to them by 10 points. For crying out loud, like, come on, Oklahoma. I do appreciate the valiant effort you did, but I'm just gonna say this. That was a damn good game. I will say that. But also, can we just point out the fact that Oklahoma's coach and Kalen DeBoer, like Seriously, did they not look alike? And like all of the colors and every single thing. I wonder if that was psychological warfare that just backed out, that just did like a Uno reverse on them or whatever. But seriously, what the hell? Like, um, and I saw like, and a lot of people had to say, were reading on TikTok, saying on TikTok that they had to look at the hats for crying out loud. And I don't blame them. But here's the thing, I'm also a very superstitious person as well when it comes to football, and a lot of people were saying that the board isn't allowed to wear anything other than a black hoodie, which I respect that, honestly. I gotta give respect where respect is due on that one. But seriously, but Bama is moving on to beat Indiana, to lose to Indiana, because it'd be a cold day in hell for you ever see me root for Alabama or Ohio State. Just a cold, cold day in hell. And I don't feel bad for that statement. War Eagle, baby. Okay, as far as this JMU and Oregon game goes, I wrote it off way too quickly. I was thinking it was going to be another Tulane Ole Miss situation. No. JMU came back in that second half and they were like, hey, we're not down for the count just yet. If we're going to lose, we're going to lose going out the best way possible, like giving it all we have. And honestly, my money was still on Oregon, and I'm happy. So that didn't change me, but I would have been really surprised if JMU would have pulled off the ultimate comeback. That would have been amazing. I'm not going to lie to you guys. That would have changed everything and possibly would have pushed JMU to the third round playoffs because I just don't see Tech going. But anyway, oh my gosh, this game is crazy. It is crazy. Oh my goodness. Well, Ole Miss beat Tulane 41-10. Here's the thing: do we consider that a victory when when it was very obvious early on that this was going to be an easy win for Ole Miss? Really and truly. And Lane Kiffin. How does it taste having crow? By the way, I'm just curious about how that goes. Yes, Lane, we're calling you out on this. I bet you're just like, wait, what? And here you are probably thinking, there's no way this team can do this without me. But yet they somehow but they beat Ole Miss for you, huh? But no, here's the thing. We're now getting that rematch against Georgia, and you can skip ahead to see my reaction to that game whenever that happens. Okay? Okay. First of all, I want to say with this Texas A&M and Miami game, hell of a game. Really good game. The defense was playing, the offense was playing, and it was like it was true football, honestly. And I couldn't be more happier with the game. I knew Texas A&M was gonna lose. I did know that. Um, because here's the thing: Texas A&M also has a habit of choking, especially when the stakes are really high. Um, I'm not an A&M fan, by no means, but A&M, I'm still upset with you that you made Alabama make it to the playoffs. Like, A&M, why? Why'd you choke on me like that? But at the same time, Miami, you played a hell of a game. And now I can't wait to see what happens when you go on to beat Ohio State. Because I said before and I'll say it again. It'll be a cold day in hell before you ever see me root for Ohio State. I am just saying. So Miami, let's play like that again, even better, and we can beat Ohio State Ohio State because nobody wants to see them knocked out of the playoffs more than I do, and nobody wants to see probably more Michigan fans. Let me rephrase that: Michigan fans probably want to see them out of the playoffs as well. But yeah, also congrats Miami, congrats to A&M. Y'all had an amazing season, and your only loss was to Texas. And now Miami. That's a great season, honestly, and y'all did really good. Congratulations again, and congratulations to Miami. Oh my gosh, how exciting First of all, that first round, amazing. Went exactly, basically how I kind of figured it would go, honestly. I will say this, JMU did surprise me. I will say that. But you want my reaction to the second round. And honestly, I want to start with the Miami and Ohio State game. It's not a secret. I hate Ohio State with a passion. There are two teams that I cannot stand in college football. That's Alabama and Ohio State. Yeah. So was I happy Ohio State lost? Yes. Do I feel pity for them? God, no. Am I happy Miami won? Yes. Was Carson Beck at the top of his game? Oh, yeah. I believe that was one of the best games that Carson Beck has played in a while. And, Miami just wanted it more. And if you knew the history behind that rivalry, which is so amazing, that I just love it in general. But let's talk about the Alabama Indiana game. Um, and okay, it's not a secret. I wanted Indiana to win that game. And at some point, y'all, as an Auburn fan, I started to pity Alabama. That game was ridiculous. First of all, Ty Simpson wasn't at his best. So, and Ty Simpson hasn't been at his best since the concussion, for crying out loud. And I just don't think Alabama physically, they were there. Mentally, they weren't there. In Indiana, I am so happy for them. They're going to go on to play Oregon, and I'm going to be very excited because, and I'll tell you who I'm rooting for in a few minutes on my round three picks for sure, guys. But sorry guys, I am currently also in the process of getting moved in, so I got a lot of stuff going on right now. But yeah, next we have the Ole Miss Georgia game, guys. The one time I wasn't thankful that we went into overtime. I was so tired watching that game, but I was so intrigued. That ending, twice. Like, Ole Miss celebrated twice. They had to clear the field twice. Like, what the hell was going on with that game? That was like, Georgia had it in that first half. And I don't know what their momentum was, but they came back in that fourth quarter finally. I thought we were going to go into overtime, and we did it. And I will give this to Ole Miss. That was a very good game for Ole Miss. Congratulations. You guys really impressed me yesterday. And I will say this, you cannot, and I am a firm believer, you can't put two teams in the same season and expect the same outcome every single time. It was just one of those things where Georgia just got outplayed and outcoached. All it was to it. Um, it was just a very good game. Now, do I see Ole Miss making it past Miami next week? Next week? No, I don't. I stand by that statement. I really do. Then let's move on to the Oregon Tech in the Tech game. It went exactly how I knew it was going to go. Oregon was going to win. Tech, I just knew they weren't going to make it past that second round. And it's weird too because only one out of the four teams that had a bye week only won their game. Only one, if you stop and think about it. And last year it was all the teams that had a bye week loss. So what do we say on that one? Yeah. But the fact that Ohio State is out, Alabama's out, I'm a happy camper. War Eagle, baby. War Eagle. But let's talk about my round three predictions real quick. So round three, our first game is probably going to be Oregon and Indiana, and I'm going with Indiana on this one because Oregon won that first game. So I'm going with Indiana on this one. Then there's the Ole Miss and Miami. Miami, I just don't see it. I could be wrong. But Miami does have a lot to prove in this game. They're proving that they can do this, and apparently Kiffin's getting a buyout every time they win from LSU, apparently. And here's the thing. I thought I hated Ole Miss, but I think I hated Kiffin more, which made me not like Ole Miss. So this next season, I really want to try to give them a chance. I really want to try to. I can't make no promises, but I think it's going to be Miami and Indiana in the national championship. I really do. And out of those, ugh, you know what? I'm going with Indiana for the national championship. Next week, my prediction may change after that game, after watching the game, seeing how they play. And I could be wrong about Ole Miss, but maybe my SEC bias could kick in, but I don't see it, honestly. But okay. But y'all, while I'm at it real quick, did you hear we were having the Hunger Games? Yeah. Apparently we're having the Hunger Games. It is so hilarious too. Um, but the Hunger Games. But yeah. But okay, that's it for this episode. I will see y'all next time. I have a fun topic picked out for y'all. But if you, was a very football centric episode. I know it's short, but I'm short, life short. We all have a lot of time on our hand to go do stuff, right? Exactly. Y'all have a great day. I hope you had a great new year.